Hello Scorpio, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. The last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Scorpio, let's jump on in. We're going to start with overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story and into the energy with tarot as we progress with the reading. So let's start, Scorpio, looking at your recent past. What has Scorpio been dealing with in their recent past? Maybe. All right. Clear out the old, renewal of peace. This is definitely a protecting your peace kind of energy. I feel like this is the energy that you guys have been in, just kind of like, I'm not really accepting anything that doesn't align with my highest good, that, you know, adds to chaos and not peace. And I feel like this is a really powerful energy too, because this is definitely kind of stepping into your power in the sense of like, I'm not going to accept anything less than what I deserve. And I think that that's going to lead you to, you know, really good things. Now, I do feel that there may have been some loss, you know, the release of certain people or paths or jobs or whatever the case might be that aren't totally serving you. But I also feel that it's almost like you're making room for things that will serve you. So let's see what we've got, Scorpio, for your current energy. Seek beauty, acceptance of love, and breakthrough. You know, when you're in an energy of really letting go of what doesn't serve you, you're essentially starting the process of saying yes to what you do desire and what it is that you're ultimately trying to attract into your life. But there's usually an in-between phase that we go through when we go from letting go of what doesn't serve us or walking away from something or even just losing something that isn't really meant for us, before we attract the things that are really meant for us, or we start to see the results of, you know, stepping into our power. And I feel like that's where you're at right now and this is not an easy process, and it probably doesn't feel good a lot of the time, but at the same time, it's opening you up to so much more than maybe you have even thought was possible to this point. So I feel like you have kind of this breakthrough. You're in this energy of a breakthrough, this breakthrough that is coming, you know, kind of getting through the tough part of the journey, which is, again, kind of that middle energy where you've let go of what doesn't serve you, but you have yet to receive what does. And that is where like the doubt, the fear, the anxiety, the insecurity lives. So it's completely natural and normal to struggle in that energy. And I think that it's a big part of the journey too, is like, even when you're struggling and even when you're doubting, you know, your worth or whether or not you are supported toward better, like just trusting that better is going to make its way to you, so that you don't go back to old patterns or cycles or behaviors or people. What does Scorpio need to know moving forward? Make a wish. The universe, spirit, your spirit guides, your higher self, whatever you might whatever resonates with you, is asking you to get very, very clear and like specific on what it is that you're trying to attract into your life, like what it is that you're looking for. And I don't necessarily mean, I'm not talking about a specific person or a specific outcome, but more so the feelings that you seek, the way in which you are desiring to feel, you know, you wanting to feel loved and supported and seen, heard and free and you know, successful, and like you're pursuing a purpose, like whatever it is that you're looking to feel, the universe is asking you to get very clear on that so that you can bring it into fruition. You have this let love, so you have make a wish, let love be your beacon, love matters, and intuition. So I feel like you're being very, very heavily guided toward the things that you desire, but at the same time, I feel like you have to get so clear on what it is that you're looking for. You might miss these opportunities or these things when they show up, because a lot of times, you know, especially when we've been stuck in a cycle, like let's call it in relationships, when we've been stuck in a cycle with like a similar person or a similar type of person or a similar dynamic, you know, we might find ourselves continuously drawn back to that person or that cycle or whatever the case is. And remember, we don't actually fully close out a cycle when we end it the first time or even the second time. We close out a cycle when we have an opportunity to repeat it and we choose not to. That's when a cycle fully closes. And sometimes if we're not super clear on what it is that we want, or that what it is that we desire, or what it is that's really meant for us, or what our soul is pulling us toward, we might find ourselves, you know, going back to old things. And I feel like that's a huge message in this reading as well. So I feel like the universe is asking you to get very clear so that you can see these opportunities whenever they do show up in your life. Because I feel like you are being very heavily guided right now. So I do feel like good things are headed your way. But I also feel like it's going to require you to have quite a bit of faith. It always does. Good things usually always require us to have faith in them, which can be really hard for sure. But I also feel like you're in a very powerful or like empowering energy right now, Scorpio. All right, overall theme for this reading for Scorpio. I just realized my camera is really crooked today, and it's kind of driving me crazy. But I'm not going to get up and fix it right now, so we're just going to have to deal with it. Oh, no. Okay, overall theme of this reading for Scorpio. What does Scorpio need to know about the energy they're dealing with? The personal issue reaches resolution. So coming to some sort of resolution, finding a solution to something that you're dealing with. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with this breakthrough. It's almost like you've been fighting some sort of like battle, or I don't know, like you've been on this journey, you've been trying to take steps to the things that you desire, and just feeling like just one setback or one obstacle or one challenge after another. And I feel like it's like breaking through to the other side, finally like making it through. You are good enough with prosperity lies ahead. So again, I feel like there is a lot of really wonderful things in your future, but I also feel at the same time that it is definitely going to require you to not give up on them, which again is really difficult and challenging when you're in kind of the thick of a journey, the thick of it in a journey. But let's get a little deeper. Let's see, Scorpio, what you've got for your recent past. You have renewal of peace with clear out the old. Recent past for Scorpio. So what has Scorpio been dealing with? Ooh, I love this past energy because this feels like surrender. It feels like letting go. You have this, so the Hangman with the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups to me always speaks to like this more like intuitive voice or like divine guidance in some way that is within you, like kind of finally listening to yourself over like your fears or your doubts, your insecurities, your ego. which is something that is a really, like, I love seeing the Page of Cups with the Hangman, because surrendering in that way and like letting go of, you know, your control and trying to make things that aren't working work, like that's where miracles happen. That's where we start to open the door to really powerful things. So I feel like you have this Queen of Wands energy too in this past energy, and this is very like, it's very action oriented. It's not a passive energy at all. So this is definitely not like sitting back, you know, just waiting for things to happen. This is actively deciding enough is enough. I'm letting go of what doesn't serve me. I'm opening the door to what does, and I'm having faith that things are going to unfold in the way that I ultimately deserve. And I think that you don't realize, I don't think you realize, Scorpio, how powerful this energy truly is and how impactful it's going to be in your future energy. Because yeah, there's still fear here. You have the Moon card there, you know, there's overwhelmed, maybe even feeling a little bit lost, you know, unsure. All of those things are natural. I talk a lot on this channel and just in coaching sessions about having faith and ultimately like what that looks like and what that means. And, you know, I think that there is this unrealistic expectation when it comes to having faith where it's like, oh, just 100% of the time, you know, you feel supported to the extent where you don't feel any fear, you don't feel any insecurity, there's no self-doubt. Like that doesn't really exist. That point isn't really, you know, something that happens. So what faith really is less of a feeling and it's more of an action. It's showing up for what you deserve, showing up for what you desire, and just trusting the process that you're going to get there, which is incredibly difficult to do. Like that is why so many people choose to hold on to things that don't serve them or stay in places where they're not fulfilled or unhappy, because it is easier. It's so much easier to live in that fear and allow that fear to control you than it is to face it. It's so much harder to face the unknown, to make the changes that you don't want to make. And I feel like that's why you need to I feel like you're needing to give yourself a little bit more credit here, Scorpio, because I feel like you have, you've made decisions or you followed a path that a lot of people don't. And that should be celebrated and it's going to be rewarded. So, you know, trust yourself a little bit more here. But what does Scorpio need to know about their current energy? Breakthrough with acceptance of love. Current energy for Scorpio. So you have the Judgment. Whoa. The Four of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Four of Cups. The King of Pentacles. In reverse, okay. There's the Temperance, okay. And then the Eight of Swords here. You know how I started out this reading, especially in this current energy, talking about how when we go through phases of letting go of what doesn't serve us and opening up to what does, we face these periods of like in between, right? I talked about this at the very beginning. And I feel like it's important for you to be aware of the phase of the journey that you're in, because it's really easy to get caught up on like your timeline or your way of things working out. And when things don't work out in that way, or in the time that you expected, it can be really easy to start to believe, oh, it's not happening, you know, things are never going to unfold like I want, and this is just, you know, this is just how things are going to be forever. The King of Pentacles in reverse, especially paired with the Temperance, is definitely a reminder that your circumstances are always temporary. Like, no matter what it is that you're dealing with, you are not going to be dealing with it forever. You know, the more that we're willing to kind of like surrender to the ebb and flow of the journey, the easier that the journey becomes. Not because the journey necessarily gets easier, but we don't make it so difficult on ourselves. Because I feel like right now, you know, you're needing to pay very, very close attention to where you're directing your energy. Because if you're spending majority of your time or your energy focusing on how things are not working or how they're not unfolding like you want, or how, things aren't where you want them to be, you might find yourself actually attracting more of that energy into your life. It can sound a little bit silly, but it's very true. Like, what we focus on is what we attract more of. So right now, trying to see things through the lens of faith. I mean, and I keep saying it. I feel like I sound like a broken record, but like, seriously, trying to see things through the lens of faith, trusting that things are working out, and ultimately knowing, like, I just looked at this "you are good enough" card. Like, you are deserving of the things that you want. So it's not just like, oh, you're supported and you're guided. It's like, these things are meant for you. Like, you are absolutely capable of experiencing the things that you want to in this life, whatever that might look like. But if you're looking around and you're looking at your temporary circumstances and you're saying, oh, this is how it's always going to be forever, you might miss opportunities. And I feel like that is what this is about, is like not missing the opportunities when they appear, or having the faith or the courage to go for them when they appear. So I don't necessarily know what this is about. Like, I feel like depending on your situation, it could be about love, it could be about a job, like whatever the case is. But I feel like you're needing to be just very aware of what you're focusing on, because again, if you are, say that you're looking at your life through the lens, like literally think of it as like glasses. And you're looking at through glasses that are filtering through the beliefs that, like, I can't have the things that I deserve or desire. I'm meant to be alone. Nothing is ever going to work out. I'm too old. I've wasted too much time. I've failed too much. Like, all of those negative things that we have a tendency to really dwell on. If you're looking at your life through that filter, you are going to see proof of that everywhere that you look. And you're going to miss the proof or the opportunities that are essentially possible, or that hold the possibility for you to create what it is that you desire. So if you switch that lens and you start looking at it through the lens of possibility, which is, things are always working out for my highest good, even if I don't understand how, I know that things can improve. I know that the universe is always bringing me, what it is that I deserve and desire. I'm not too old. I am still very capable. I'm deserving, lovable, all those things. You're going to see opportunities that you wouldn't see if you were looking at your life through those other pairs of glasses. I hope that makes sense. Because I feel like one of the things that for me was really kind of difficult on my journey is so in my past life, if you will, I was a financial advisor. I was very much, in the corporate world, doing the grind, 14-hour days. Like, it was what I did. It was just normal. And I was miserable pretty much all the time, but I literally didn't see another way, because in my mind it was like, well, I went to school for this. I've spent, several years like building up this practice. Like, there's no way I could start over. I don't want to start over. That sounds really scary. I don't even know what I would do. And I had no idea what I wanted, but I limited myself so much to where I was at right then and there. And luckily, the universe kind of put me through an awakening when I was pretty young in this career, and it was like, you don't want to do this forever. You deserve to do something that sets your soul on fire, and that allows you to pursue something with a little bit more purpose. And I was like, that's great, fantastic, yeah, that sounds wonderful. I have no idea what that looks like. And the universe took me through like just this incredible journey. It was painful and magical and beautiful, and at the end of the day, it was absolutely very worth it, even if it was challenging. Where I was led to tarot. I was led to the spiritual coaching that I do now. And if you would have told me at the time when I was a financial advisor, because I didn't believe in any of this stuff. I didn't have any kind of knowledge of it. I only knew what I saw in the media, what I saw on TV. Like, I didn't believe in any of it until I started to experience it for myself. And I was very guided and led to it. And I think back at that, I'm like, if I wouldn't have been fully surrendered at that time, I never, ever would have even thought to give this a try, because it wasn't even on my radar. And I think so much of the time we write off possibilities or opportunities because we don't see them or understand where they exist right in the moment. But then that keeps us from actually exploring paths that can lead us to where it is that we want to go. So what I'm getting at is, just because you don't understand or see an opportunity now, it doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. In fact, the more, when I started to manifest my career, I got very clear, and I started the reading talking about this, on what I wanted my day-to-day look like. I wanted freedom over my schedule. I wanted to be able to use my knowledge, talents, gifts, and experiences to help people daily. I wanted to be able to make enough money to support my lifestyle. Like, I got very, very clear on what I was looking for out of a career, even if I didn't know exactly what that was going to look like at the end of the day. And the universe provided, because I was able to understand, okay, this is a way and this is a path for me to do to the things that I ultimately desire. If I would have said, I need this outcome, which I did for a really long time in financial advising, I want to be successful as a financial advisor, I would have eventually, I would have hit a brick wall, because the universe was trying to tell me time and time again, this isn't the right path for you. So I do feel like, don't close yourself off to the possibility of opportunities, or you might miss them. And there is definitely, I feel like, some opportunity that you're being very guided toward. But you, again, need to focus on where you're directing your energy right now, so that you don't miss this opportunity. What does Scorpio need to know moving forward? The Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's so much you don't know. It kind of feels like things are being set up for you in some way, like, call it in the 5D or whatever. Yeah, literally, the Four of Pentacles. It's like bricks being laid for some sort of this opportunity or outcome here. I mean, you have the Magician too, which is all about, manifestation and creation, and ultimately kind of that co-creation relationship with the universe, like knowing that, if you focus on doing your part, which is being open to opportunities, the universe will provide the opportunities. But sometimes we get closed off to opportunities or to doing things a different way, because we're seeing things through the lens of that fear, doubt, and insecurity. So I don't know what this is, but it does feel like it's something pretty big coming your way, some sort of opportunity or path here. But it's like, I don't know, there's just still this, like, you don't want to miss it. Now, I will say, I'm not here to fearmonger, and if there's anything that I've learned, it's that what is meant for us will never, ever pass us. So it's not saying, like, oh, if you miss this opportunity, that sucks, like, you're never gonna get it again. The opportunity for us to experience the things that we want, it always exists in front of us, or in our present moment. But we have to understand that, maybe there will be a cycle that we'll need to repeat, or some more healing or growth or evolvement, whatever the case might be. So divine timing is a very real thing. It's not necessarily about the right time in terms of like date and time, more so like when you're aligned with the opportunity. And as long as you're focusing on aligning with the things that you desire, the things that you desire are going to naturally come to you. So I do feel like there's something big here, like I said. But I don't know. It's like you risk missing it if you don't recognize it for what it is, or if like you allow your self-doubt or your fear or your anxiety, especially if it requires you to take some sort of leap of faith or to make some uncomfortable changes. But definitely keep an eye out, because I do feel like there's some good stuff coming your way. Okay, I'm going to hop, literally, the fool. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages, ultimately looking at what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Any information for that is in the description box below. Thank you so much, Scorpio, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Scorpio.